How old do you think he is?
A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David. And what a glorious day we have had here. And I'm sorry to tell you this because I know many of you are hunkered down and experiencing the sound of strong winds. But I tell you what, today has been absolutely glorious here because we've got the high sitting over the country. At the moment we have... well, it's not all that tropical, I would have to admit. It's 15 degrees. 1 knot every now and again it measures. 1036.8 on the bar, lovely and high. And clear skies, although I'm just noticing that in the north we've got some cloud just along the horizon. So would have to give it, say, 5% on the horizon. So, yeah, very, very nice day here. And we're looking forward to it continuing thus for the next few days. So it's not often I get to know that our weather is better than yours, although admittedly the temperature will be a lot better where you are. We've just had an email in from Minerva Reef, and that's interesting to David. A couple of questions there, but we'll first of all go to the very brave soul on Silhouette, who has left the country and is heading north. Silhouette, Gulf Harbour Radio. Oh, good evening to you, and you'll have to first of all tell me your name. It's still quite not very good copy because you're still a bit close for this frequency, but we've certainly got you on the AIS, and I see you're being chased by Horizon, and you're doing a very good job because he's got a metre more water length than you have, so go ahead, over.
Could you repeat last, over?
Yeah, I was just commenting you left with Horizon and they are a metre longer than you, but you're still keeping well ahead of them, over.
Roger.
Okay, go ahead with your current position and conditions.
Roger, position 3340 minutes south, 175353 minutes east, speed 5.5 knots, course 020, wind 20 out of the east, over.
And what about the sea conditions? Have they started to get a bit sloppy with the weather that we've had? And what is your name, please, over?
Okay, the sea conditions are probably less than a meter for majority of the time. Every once in a while, a meter and a half wave will come through. And my name is Phil, Papa Hotel India Lima, over.
Okay, nice copy now, actually, Phil. So Silhouette on the way north, and I'm assuming, because I can copy you better tonight, you are going direct to Fiji, are you, Phil?
Negative. I'm heading for Minerva and then Tonga, over.
Oh, God, I think I got that last night. My brain's not going too well today. Minerva, then Tonga. It's much better copy tonight. 3340 south, 17553 east, on a course of 020, I'm assuming true, 5.5 knots, 20 knots from the east, and the seas are less than 1 metre roughly, give or take, and you're heading to Minerva and then Tonga. Do you know the folk on Horizon? Are they doing pretty much the same as you, over? Oh, roger that. Okay, you'll split off at Minerva. Okay, well, it sounds like all is well at this stage of the game, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Any questions, over?
No questions at this time, over.
Okay, all right. You'll still be with the weather that you've got, and we'll be certainly keeping an eye on things. All right, well, let's go to the conditions at Minerva. This is really, you people at Minerva know what they've got, but at the moment other people will be interested in that. Evidently the GFS grid this morning, and this is from Rubicon, showed some south-southeast winds to develop, Anyway, they're looking at going on to Tonga themselves. The wind was 20 knots and built from there to 25 to 30. Started 100% overcast with some small amount of rain and then some big scary squally things that went by. The highest gust is so far has been 33 knots, and they got a little bit of sun for around midday for a couple of hours, but they've got about 75% cloud cover at the moment. So not exactly a day for enjoying an exploration of the reef, but anyway, at high tides it's a little bit bumpy, but otherwise no problem at all. Okay, is there anybody else wanting to make contact or give us a weather report from anywhere in the Southwest Pacific? Please call now. Good evening, Jan, and how are you? I presume you just had a peaceful day inside the boat, over?
Yes, pretty well. Yeah, I had my, as you know, I had my sewer leak sorted out yesterday by trying on the boat nearby, and just wanted to say that the pressure has been pretty good at 10:22, 1012, over.
Okay, you said 10:22, but then you said 1012. Could you just clarify?
Oh, sorry, that's what I was reading. I had on 1022 is the pressure. Over.
Okay, got that. 1022 pressure in Minerva. Thank you for that. And otherwise all is well. Yes, Kari and the crew did a great job there, so much relieved I'm sure you are to have that leak. I couldn't stand a fuel leak because I'm very sensitive to the smell of diesel, so I'm sure you were very pleased to get that all sorted, and you've had a bit of a clean up, I assume, over?
Yeah, that's a lot of just about getting cooking actually, just suddenly realised it was death time. But I also had Carlin and Jimmy over from their two boats to help me get the electric out. We didn't begin to unfurl, and I had it out ahead of the canal. So with winds likely to keep up strong, we certainly keep up something very recently. Yeah, that was a bit of a worry. So they helped me get the electric down, which was great. Over.
Oh, that is good. Well, lots of thanks to people that are helping out there. Okay, well, clear with you, and I'm going to pass the microphone to David to give a bit of an outlook as to when you guys can leave. Not that you have to leave before the two boats, Silhouette and Horizon, arrive, because there's plenty of room, but I know you'll be all anxious to make a move. It's funny, isn't it? You sort of forget about how interesting Minerva Reef is to explore in the water. When you have a bit of weather like this, all you want to do is leave it behind. But anyway, here's David.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. And I'm sitting here with a stuffed up nose. It seems my beloved here decided to go pick some. What was that we picked? That nasty little tree that.
I have no idea.
Oh, she's acting. She's acting like she doesn't know what I'm talking about. Anyway.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Olives.
now
Olives,
she knows.
yes.
Olive trees.
Olive trees.
Anyway, I'm very allergic to olive trees, and so we wandered out the other day, and we were picking away on these olives that aren't quite ripe yet to pick, but some are. And then she does her thing, and they are delicious. But boy, if you're allergic, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so questions have come up about leaving Minerva for those that have been there for a while, and I've been haven't really looked very carefully at this, quite frankly. But looking at it, just scanning is probably a better way to put it. It's quite possible that Saturday, this coming up Saturday, which is the 13th, I believe, 13th.
That's a long way.
It seems like it's a long way. Well, it's not that far, quite frankly, in terms of time. But anyhow, it's there is a possibility that the folks that do want to leave, could make it to Fiji and or Minerva. And what's happening on the big picture, the big high has not gone away and will not have gone away at that point in time. And we'll still have very fresh to strong winds right up through that time as well on Minerva, but not on Saturday. And well, let's put it this way: it starts on Saturday. So we've developed a polar dip that would appear on the northeast corner of our big high, and it's looking, if the models are correct, and I wouldn't put a whole lot of bank on it, but they're approximately 30. It is approximately 35 south and 170 west, 170 west. So that low is putting quite a bit of a dent in our big high, and it's changing the isobar shape considerably. So that by Monday, there is a quite possibility of making this trip. Northerly winds perhaps 15 to 20 going to Minerva. I haven't really looked at Fiji, but probably about the same. So it's only a couple of days or a few more than that perhaps. But there is a good opportunity for that to happen. Then it closes off a few days after Monday, say maybe Wednesday time frame. And again, I just scanned this. The winds are going to change to become essentially northerly winds, which would not make it very nice to go to either Fiji or Minerva. So, in summary then, polar dip is in the cards for the big high, and you all know by now what a polar dip is since we just talked about it the other day. That's going to change the shape of the isobars, and in doing so, it's going to lighten the winds a tad bit, and it's going to change the directions to make it possibly feasible for that trip to Fiji or to Tonga. So we'll have to see. That's quite a few days out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 days, and that's stretching it for models. Looking at 5 or 6 days, and quite frankly, especially now with the nature of this high and the support that it's getting from upper levels as well. And yeah, it's just going to be a tricky kind of a thing. So I know a lot of you that have been in Minerva for a while are probably anxious to get going. So anyway, it's not that you can't go before that. It's just that the winds are going to be much stronger, and the seas are going to be up as well. So for the brave and the tough boats and a tough mate, if it's your wife, who may never talk to you again if you make a mistake, it's possible to go before that. But anyway, for those that don't mind the wait, we'll know more in a day or so, and I'll make it a point tomorrow to dig into it. I'll particularly look at the upper levels and the rest of the models, and we'll see what the chances are. So anyway, that's about all I have. Otherwise, things are just pretty much the same as we talked about yesterday and the day before. Looking at that trough that's north of Fiji and actually north of Vanuatu, that is very active. It's quite cold. The buildups are up there. A lot of thunderstorm activity, but it's broken, and it runs kind of east-west and goes from the Solomons all the way east. So anyhow, there is another bit of cloud activity that is running, runs basically northwest to southeast, and that is affecting Vanuatu. We talked about yesterday that was getting some rain up at Espiritu Santo, and we had guessed that it probably would continue today. We haven't heard from that yet. Perhaps we will. But I'm looking right now at satellite imagery that's maybe an hour and a half old, and from what I can see, there is a pretty good chance that there are scattered showers up there. In fact, over almost the whole chain, at least down to Port Vila. Not so Anisham. The southern bits look pretty decent. So the activity is really up to the north, including the banks and the associated islands up there. And this is being supported by the jet stream. So anyway, that's the story there. And I can't think of anything else that would be of interest weather-wise. So with that, I'll give it to the chief and find my handkerchief.
Well, it looks like I'll be picking olives by myself in future. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. It looks like a very short and sweet net tonight. Is there anybody else wanting to join us with anything? Please call now.
Gulf Harbour, this is Lula. How copy?
Lula. Oh, very well. Good copy. And how are you enjoying being jiggled about in North Minerva? Over.
Yes, Trish, we are definitely being jiggled about. We have the crew of Carry on board as we speak, playing some card games. We're all set and all well on board, and just riding out the weather. Over.
Yep. Well, that's part of cruising, isn't it? But after the hubbub of getting going, it's really good probably to just get yourselves all prepared and ready for when you do arrive somewhere a little bit more civilized than Minerva. But to tell you what, it is a really interesting place to explore when you get the chance to do that. Very, very interesting in the water. So hopefully you'll do that. So good to catch up with you. Hopefully Patrick's on board streaming, listening to you guys. And there was something else I wanted to tell you too. Can't think what it is now, but anyway, you'll be on tomorrow, or listening anyway. Okay, well, hi to Gemma as well, and yep, thanks for checking in, Jimmy. Okay, is there anybody else before I shut it down? No, nothing heard. We don't even have the fire on tonight. The weather is so beautiful, and I'm shortly off to my first political meeting. It's just our local MP is giving us a bit of a update on where things stand with the coalition government. Oh, that's what I meant to tell everybody. Last night I told you it looked like it was going to swing to the far right in France, but with the second effort they swung the other way, which is interesting. So there is no party that has got a majority, so it looks like a hung Parliament for the French, which is first and is not going to lead to a very satisfactory situation over there. They never do, hung governments, whilst they all mess around and trying to sort out whether they can move forward in any direction. So there you go, quite a surprise. Well, in a way not really, because sometimes with the way that they do their whole election process, people put a scare in and then they go and do what they were going to do anyway. So anyway, Mr. Macron certainly is not in a good position, but he could have been in a lot worse position. At least he's there, lost about 100 seats. But anyway, that's what happened in France. Nothing else of interest anywhere, I don't think. Nothing much in the paper this morning anyway of interest. Okay, cheers everybody. The frequency is yours if you want it.